Okay. Hello, I'm here with Anastasia, Jan, and we will be using EFT therapy on her recent heartbreak related to her ex-boyfriend. Okay, Anastasia, so we took some recent memory with your boyfriend when he told you that he wants to take a step back from your friendship. And you told me that when you think about this memory, you feel heartbroken, like 7 out of 10, and you feel it as tightness on your chest, throat, and back of the neck.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Good.
accurate.
So, okay, Anastasia, what I want you to do now is try to focus on the feeling that you feel when you imagine him saying that. Focus on the feeling. And I will ask you now, does this feeling remind you of something? Try to find some memory, ideally in your childhood, where you felt this kind of feeling.
Oh man, I can't give you a single memory. It's just like a whole
It's many of them.
river of them.
Okay, okay.
But yeah,
Try to kind of zone in on one of them, the one that kind of maybe stands out.
okay. Should I tell you about it?
Yeah. Tell me just briefly, what is it about?
So let's see. This isn't from childhood. I was still in college at the time.
Okay.
But I remember talking to my mother about my first boyfriend breaking up with me.
How old were you at the time, approximately?
22, 23,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, I will stop you here. First, I will ask, can you find something even earlier, something in your childhood, like between the age of 0 to 15? Anything where you could have felt similar emotions? Maybe something with your mother or anything like that?
There's a lot I don't remember from my childhood.
Uh-huh.
So I honestly don't have a whole lot of memories.
Mm-hmm.
I realize like blocking, memories is a thing, but I just...
Okay, so that's completely okay. We will work with what we have. So this memory, you were in college, and what happened with your mother?
I was basically telling her how hurt I was that this had happened. And I guess my mother doesn't really do comfort. She basically told me that she didn't understand why I would like feel this way about a man. Like why I would care.
Okay. Give me a moment. I will make a note.
And
okay. Anastasia, I will stop you right here. We don't yet want to go into the details of the memory. So just tell me very briefly, like, what was the hurtful part about it? Like that she told you she doesn't understand, or?
It was, if she said the words, "I don't understand why you feel this way," I think it would have been a lot less hurtful. But it was more that she made me feel stupid for caring.
She made you feel stupid for caring.
Yeah.
Okay. We will stop right here. We don't want to go to the memory. We just want to establish some parameters for the memory. So first thing, we want to establish a clear beginning of this memory, of this situation. This will be where the first negative emotion came. What would be the kind of beginning of the negative part?
I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean like
so you've been somewhere with your mom, you were talking, and then she said something that kind of hurt you. What was the first thing that was kind of negative in that situation?
Probably the part where even though she asked, I guess she didn't really seem interested.
Okay, so first part is she asked but doesn't seem interested.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's sort of feigning interest, if you will.
Okay. Good. Now we will skip to the very end of the situation and just tell me what would be like the end of the situation. For example, when you went your own way, somebody left, or you switched topic, or anything like that.
Again, for that specific situation?
For this specific situation.
I don't remember who hung up first or who ended the call
Okay.
first. But
So it was on a call. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just remember like hanging up the phone and just crying because I didn't feel understood at all.
Okay. So I will mark the end as hanging down the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, Anastasia, from the part where she asks you but doesn't seem interested until you hang down the phone, how long could it have been approximately? How many minutes? Just a guess.
15, 20 minutes.
Okay. In these 15 minutes, just guess for me, how many kind of negative parts were there in this call?
Oh God.
Just take a guess, a number.
10, 20.
Okay, that's too much. When you say a number big like this, it's probably you probably won't remember 20, like 10 or 20 separate parts. So there are probably few main peaks, kind of when she doesn't seem interested, when she says this. What were kind of the few main parts? How many could there have been?
Part of me is just like, you don't understand my mother. Like every conversation I've had with her has just been like one long series of emotional invalidations.
Litany of emotional invalidation.
Yeah, this was not like an isolated thing.
Okay, good. So we will just go through it and we will find the different parts. Okay, this is enough for me now. Last thing I want to ask, Anastasia, give me a guess. Just don't go to the situation. Just give me a guess. If you were to be imagining this situation right now, how strongly would you feel the negative emotion from 0 to 10?
I'm imagining at the moment, and it's just like all that frustration is just like bubbling up to the surface.
Give me a number. Don't imagine the situation. Just give me a number, I guess.
It's around 7.5 or an 8.
7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So come with me. Even though I have these negative feelings.
Even though I have these negative feelings.
About this situation.
About the situation.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
These negative feelings. These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
About this situation.
About the situation.
These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
About this situation.
About the situation.
These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
About this situation.
About this situation.
These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
These negative feelings.
About this situation.
About this situation.
Okay. Anastasia, just try to guess again for me how much would be the negative feelings about the situation. 0 to 10.
Around maybe a 6.
Okay, come with me. Even though I still have this 6.
Even though I still have this 6.
About this situation.
About this situation.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have this 6.
I still have this 6.
About this situation.
About this situation.
I still have this 6.
I still have this 6.
About this situation.
About this situation.
I still have this 6.
I still have this 6.
About this situation.
About this situation.
I still have this 6.
I still have this 6.
Still have this 6.
I still have this 6.
About this situation.
About this situation.
Good, good. Okay. Okay, try to guess again how much would be negative feelings for this situation.
Maybe 5.5.
Okay, come with me. Even though I still have 5.5.
Even though I still have 5.5.
About this situation. About this situation.
About this situation.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have 5.5.
I still have 5.5.
About this situation.
About this situation.
Was 7.5.
It was 7.5.
Then 6.
Then 6.
Still have 5.5.
I still have 5.5.
It's still there.
It's still there.
This 5.5.
It's 5.5.
About this situation.
About the situation.
This 5.5.
It's 5.5.
Good, good, good. Okay, try to guess again for me.
It's not quite a 5. I'll say 4.5.
4.5. Okay. Good. Now it's below 5. We did this we tapped on the general feelings about the whole situation, and the reason we do this is to kind of lower the feelings, roughen the edges of the situation, so that when we go into the situation is like kind of less traumatic for you and more comfortable. Okay, so that was the first part. Now, Anastasia, what I will have you do is you will start imagining the situation as if it was happening, and you will be telling me exactly what is happening in the situation. And whenever in any part of the situation you feel any negative emotion, you stop and you tell me. Okay? Sorry. Every time negative feelings, you stop and you tell me, we tap, we get it down, and only then we will move to the next part of the situation. Okay, good. So you can start telling me, where are you, what's happening?
So let's see. I'm at home. I've just spent the afternoon looking at places to rent. And I'd fallen down a flight of stairs a few hours previously at one old building, like just tumbled straight down.
Wow.
It was one of those experiences that was like, you know, people die from this, and I survived it.
Yeah, you were quite lucky.
Yeah. So I had kind of I guess, a rush from that, but also just, I don't know. So I'm sitting at home in my mom's place,
Mhm.
and my ex calls me,
Mm.
and he has like this incredible tightness in his voice. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, just wait a minute. Which memory are we looking at?
Uh, the more recent one, or did you want me to get into the last invalidating memory of my mom?
The invalidation for mom. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Which memory did we tap on right now?
Uh, I was tapping on the thing with my mother.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah,
So, yes,
I wasn't tripping
sorry.
on you.
So start describing to me this memory with your mother.
Okay.
Mhm.
Um, from what little I remember, like I remember how this
Mhm.
made me feel, but like a lot
Mhm.
of the details I
Okay.
don't remember.
Just tell me approximately what was the call like. Start from the beginning of the call.
Um, so I remember calling her because I was supposed to.
Mm.
I never actually wanted to call my mother,
Mhm.
but if I didn't call her, she'd be really, really angry.
Okay, okay. Anastasia,
So
let's stop right here. When you're about to call mom, how do you feel? Do you feel any negative emotion there already?
some tension, actually a
Uh-huh.
lot of tension, like
Okay.
just this feeling of
So you feel some tension when you're about to call her?
yeah, apprehension is more like it.
Apprehension. Okay. How
Yeah.
much is the apprehension 0 to 10?
Uh, it's about a 6.
Mhm. Where do you feel it in your body?
Um, mostly in my chest and my stomach.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In both, or where do you feel it now?
Uh, I would say it's both my chest and my stomach, kind
Uh-huh.
of like butterflies and
Uh-huh.
tension, if that
So,
makes sense.
so you feel butterflies in your chest and stomach?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, come with me. Even though I have these butterflies in my chest and my stomach,
Even though I have these butterflies in my chest and my stomach,
when I'm about to call my mom,
when I'm about to call my mother,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach,
When I'm about to call my mother,
when I'm about to call my mother.
butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach,
When I'm about to call my mother,
when I'm about to call my mother.
butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach,
When I'm about to call my mother,
when I'm about to call my mother.
butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach.
Butterflies in my chest and stomach,
When I'm about to call my mother.
when I'm about to call my mother.
Okay, good, good, good. Okay, now just again, imagine the part when you're just about to call her. What does it feel like?
Um, maybe a 3.
Mhm. Okay. And what is is it the same feeling but lower, or is it a different feeling? Same feeling
No,
but lower.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, come with me. Even though I still have these 3,
Even though I still have this 3,
when I'm about to call my mother,
when I'm about to call my mother,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have these 3,
Still have this 3,
when I'm about to call my mother.
when I'm about to call my mother.
Still have these 3,
Still have this 3,
when I'm about to call my mother.
when I'm about to call my mother.
Still have these 3,
Still have this 3,
when I'm about to call my mother.
When I'm about to call my mother.
Still have these three.
Still have this 3.
Still have these three.
Still have this 3.
When I'm about to call my mother.
When I'm about to call my mother.
Okay. Imagine again, you being about to call her.
It's like a 1.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Oh
one
my
is good.
God.
Okay. Keep going in the situation. What's next?
So I call her and like she picks up the phone and I don't know, most of my conversations with my mom went like this, but like
Mhm,
she like, pleasantries like,
mhm,
hi, how are you doing?
mhm,
And then just as I'd be about to answer, she'd start telling me about how she was doing
mhm.
and never gave me a chance to answer. This was one of those occasions too.
Wait, so she asked you something?
Yeah. She
Uh,
asked me a question about how I was doing and
uh,
didn't give me a chance to answer, just kind of
uh,
steamrolled right on over me with,
okay.
oh, here's what everyone else in the family is up to, and here's
So
what I'm
she
up to.
asks you how you're doing and then keeps talking and doesn't give you any space.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel when she does this?
I'm frustrated and sad.
How much is the frustration and sadness 0 to 10?
Um, at that point,
Oh, I know.
uh,
How much do you feel it now when you're imagining it?
right now,
Mhm.
it's kind of like a bum knee you've gotten used to. It's like a 5.
5. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you feel it in your body?
Uh, hmm. Yeah, this is definitely like a headache, basically. This is a migraine.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like here mostly, and
Uh-huh.
then
Okay. Come with me. Even though mom asked me how I'm doing,
even though mom asks me how I'm doing,
and then just keeps talking,
and then just keeps talking,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Mom asked me how I'm doing,
Mom asks me how I'm doing,
and then she just keeps talking,
and then she just keeps talking,
like she doesn't care about the answer.
like she doesn't care about the answer.
She asked me how I'm doing,
She asks me how I'm doing,
and then just keeps talking,
and then just keeps talking,
just steamrolling me.
just steamrolling me,
Like she doesn't even care about the answer.
like she doesn't care about the answer.
She asked me how I'm doing,
She asks me how I'm doing,
and then she just keeps talking.
and she just keeps talking.
Imagine again her asking, and then she just keeps talking.
Hmm.
What does it feel like now?
Uh, maybe relief isn't the right word, but
Mhm,
like just sort of like an acceptance. Like
mhm.
this is
Okay.
just
Is
who
there
she
is
is
there
and what
any
she
negative
does.
feeling left in this part?
Um, More like annoyance. At this
Huh?
point, that's it, and it's
How much is the annoyance 0 to 10?
maybe a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Even though I still have these three,
Even though I still have this 3,
when she asked how I'm doing,
and she asks how I'm doing,
and then keeps talking,
and then keeps talking.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have these three.
I still have this 3,
When she asks how I'm doing,
and she asks me how I'm doing,
and then just keeps talking,
and then just keeps talking,
keeps talking,
keeps talking,
like she doesn't even care.
like she doesn't even care.
She just asks out of courtesy.
She just asked out of courtesy.
Apparently,
Apparently.
because she just keeps talking
She just keeps talking.
and she doesn't care.
And she doesn't care.
Imagine again, she asks you how you're doing, and then she just keeps talking.
Oh, it's like it's not even a 2.
Mhm.
It's just there.
Mhm.
It's like maybe a 1.5.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though I still have 1.5.
Even though I still have 1.5.
When she asks it,
When she asks,
and she just keeps talking.
and she just keeps talking.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have 1.5.
I still have 1.5.
She asks how I'm doing,
She asks how I'm doing.
and then she just keeps talking.
And then she just keeps talking.
Just keeps talking,
She just keeps talking.
as if she never even asked.
As if she'd never even asked.
Did she even notice
I don't think so.
that she asked me a question?
She noticed that she asked me a question.
Probably not.
Probably not.
She just keeps talking.
She just keeps talking.
Imagine her again. She asks you and then just keeps talking.
I'm just at this point, I'm just like, she could be a bobblehead.
Mhm.
For all
Okay. Okay.
like,
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
This is pretty much, this is like a 0, a 0.5.
Okay. Great. Great. Okay. Keep going. What's next in the situation?
I don't even remember how I like broached the topic.
Mhm.
But, like, she'd met this guy
Mhm.
and she really liked him. She'd met him and
Mhm.
his parents. And I think she asked me about she asked me about him, and I was like, he broke up with me.
Mhm.
And I told her that I was really sad about it. And I don't think I gave her a whole lot of detail otherwise.
Mhm.
But I might have started crying over the phone
Mhm.
because she seemed really uncomfortable at the crying. And she was just like, I don't, she was just like, why are you like this about a man? Like,
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So you're telling her about the breakup?
that time with my mother, that conversation.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you're telling her about the breakup, and you're crying. And how does she respond? How do you see her respond? Is it like, does she say something, or is it a silence? What does she do?
Well, she sounded kind of angry to me,
Mhm.
like almost to like, why are you wasting my time with this?
Uh-huh. And how do you know that she's kind of annoyed, angry? Or was it some tone, or did she say something? What do you hear in the phone?
It was a tone in her voice. The funny
Uh-huh.
thing is that, she's the kind of person who will show fairly obvious signs of anger or annoyance or frustration, but never
Okay.
actually admit to
Okay.
it.
Try to remember for me approximately what she said.
Um, like, why are you like this about a guy?
Mhm.
Like,
Okay.
like I don't remember her using the exact words, this is silly, but that was the sentiment.
Uh-huh. Okay, that was the sentiment.
Yeah.
Okay. When she says this, what do you feel?
Crushed. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm already hurting,
Uh-huh.
and like this,
Ah, okay. How much do you feel being crushed, 0 to 10?
um right now, like, just remembering the memory,
Right now, when you're remembering saying that.
I'd say a 4.
Okay, okay. So she's saying, why are you crying like this about a guy, or what did she say?
Yeah, more or less.
Uh-huh.
I think she let me think. Um I remember her mentioning something from her own life in which some guy left and how she
Okay,
didn't feel like I was feeling. And
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Come with me. Even though she says,
even though she says,
why are you crying like this over a guy?
why are you crying like this over a guy?
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
She says,
She says,
why are you crying like this over a guy?
why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a
Why are
guy?
you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
She says it in this dismissive tone.
She says it in this dismissive tone.
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Imagine again just the part when she says this.
Is that a 3?
Okay. Even though I still have this 3.
Even though I still have this 3.
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Still have this 3.
Still have this 3.
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
I'm broken.
What was that?
I'm broken.
I'm broken,
Crying.
crying,
Sharing this with her.
oh, I'm pretty angry with her.
And she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
And she says, why am I crying like this over a guy?
I'm telling her this.
I'm telling her this.
Maybe I would hope for some support.
Maybe I would hope for some support.
And she just says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
And she just says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
I'm sharing this with her.
I'm sharing this with her.
I could use some support,
I could use some support,
some empathy.
some empathy.
And she just says,
And she just says,
why are you crying like this over a guy?
why are you crying like this over a guy?
In that dismissive tone.
In that dismissive tone.
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Okay. Imagine her again saying this.
A 2?
Okay, okay. Okay. What is the 2? What is the emotion?
At this point, it's kind of just a vague frustration and maybe a little bit of sadness. Maybe grief is
Frustration and sadness about what? Just tell me your thoughts about it, about her reaction.
Maybe grief is more appropriate. Just wishing that I had been able to confide in her, wishing that she got it, or at the very least understood what I needed in that moment.
Okay. Okay. Even though I still have this too.
Even though I still have this too.
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
When she says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
She says, why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
She doesn't have much empathy.
She doesn't have much empathy.
Not much support to be found here.
Not much support to be found here.
She's just dismissive.
She's just dismissive.
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a
Why
guy?
are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a
Why
guy?
are you crying like this over a guy?
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
Okay. Imagine her again saying this sentence.
One, maybe? Like,
Okay.
it's kind of just words at this point.
Okay. Okay. Say it out loud.
Why are you crying like this over a guy?
What did you feel now when you said it?
If anything, just, this is absurd.
Okay, good.
This is silly.
Great. So in the next part, when she's sharing, like, what was she sharing? That she had it worse. She was sharing some story about her and the guy.
Yeah. Like I don't think my mother had much of a dating life, period. Like definitely not while I was a kid. And
Okay, let's just stick to this situation. Like in the call, what else was she saying?
oh, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
So she was either talking about a situation with my dad or with, I think, the last person that she had any sort of romantic feelings towards, which was this dude I guess she's still friends with. I don't know. But that was many years before I was born. And she left this dude because he lied to her about something. And she was telling me about that and how, like, she was able to just let it roll off her back as if it didn't mean anything and that I should feel the same. Yeah.
What do you feel when she's saying this instead of giving you support?
At this point right now, I'm like, this was, maybe she was trying to give support and this was the best she could do.
So what is the feeling?
Just sort of, disappointed. Yeah.
Okay, how much do you feel the disappointment now? 0 to 10 when she's saying this?
It's maybe a 3 at this point.
Okay, come with me. Even though she's just telling me how she got over it.
Even though she's just telling me how she got over it.
And how I should just do the same.
And how I should just do the same.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
She's telling me how she got over it.
She's telling me how she got over it.
With some other guy.
With some other guy.
And how I should just do the same.
And how I should just do the same.
She's telling me how she got over it.
She's telling me how she got over it.
With some other guy.
With some other guy.
And how I should just do the same.
And how I should just do the same.
She's telling me how she got over it.
She's telling me how she got over it.
With some other guy.
With some other guy.
And how I should just do the same.
And how I should just do the same.
Imagine her again telling you this.
Is it weird to not like really feel disappointed anymore?
Yeah, that's the purpose of this.
it's like, I don't know, it's maybe a 1. It's just,
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
You can continue. What's next in the situation?
After this, I think we ended up just talking about some unrelated things before I just hung up, and I was like crying about not feeling understood. And that was it for that particular memory. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Let's stop here. Imagine yourself after you hung up and crying. How do you feel there in this part?
Right now, just empathy.
Just empathy. Mhm.
Yeah, for my past self. Like
Okay, good, good.
I get why she was hurting. And
Okay, I see. Okay, Anastasia, uh, go for me through this whole situation again with all the detail and try to find and invoke some negative emotion if you can.
okay. So I've just been dumped by my first boyfriend,
Mhm,
and I had to make a call to my mother, um, because I was obligated to, basically. And she picks up the phone and asks how I'm doing, but doesn't actually let me answer that question.
how do you
And
feel there?
yeah, and talks at some length about like what's going on in her
How do you
life.
feel when she just keeps talking after she asks you?
Uh, right now, I'm just like, this is a thing that she does.
Mm, okay,
Yeah, it's like this
mother.
is just, she's just making her noises. It's
Mm,
not even like, it doesn't
mhm,
hurt. It's just there.
mhm, yeah, okay, so what's
Um,
next?
yeah. Then at some point, like, I guess she gets around to noticing that like I'm on the line, and that
Mhm,
she asks how Igor was his name.
mhm,
She asks how Igor is doing, and I tell her that Igor broke up with me
mhm,
and that I was really sad about it.
mhm,
And she was like, why would she feel like that about a guy?
mhm,
I was with this other person
mhm,
and I left them, and I'm I was able to get over it. Like, why can't
mhm,
you do the same? And like I realized I wouldn't really get what I needed from
mhm.
her. So I just,
How do you feel in this part when you're saying this?
right now, just acceptance.
Uh-huh.
It's like I couldn't get what I needed from her.
Okay,
And
just to check, say as if she said it, I got over it, why can't you do the same?
I got over it. Why can't you do the same?
What did it feel like? Any negative emotion when you're saying that? Okay, good. You can keep going.
It's really, really minor. There isn't much there left.
That's good.
Um,
That's good.
yeah. At that point, I basically just let her keep talking until I needed to go, and then I hung up the phone. Yeah. Um, and right now, when I imagine myself crying over that, I feel relief. Strangely enough,
Mm,
just
really
recounting that memory, I just feel relief.
good. Good. Mhm,
It's just, it feels kind of weird because I definitely wasn't relieved in that moment. I
mhm,
was
mhm. Yeah, but
doubly
now it's
heartbroken,
kind
but
of
like,
clear.
yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So we have this memory cleared. I want to check something now. There might be some difference, might not, but I want to check it.
Okay.
Uh, Try again. Again, imagine Sam telling you that he wants to take a step back from the friendship.
Okay.
Uh-huh. What do you feel there?
I not much in the way of, not much in the way of tension, just
Mhm. Okay.
a little bit of, right now, I think what I most feel is just disappointment.
Disappointment. Okay.
Yeah.
How strong is the disappointment? 0 to 10?
It's a 3. It's a 3 or a 4.
Okay. Before, like half an hour ago or something like that, when we were checking it, you felt heartbroken. It was like 7 out of 10. You felt it as tightness on your chest, in your throat, back of your neck. How is it now?
I mean, I'm scanning my body right now for any
Oh,
sort of
good, good,
tension
good,
or
good. That's good.
I'm not feeling anything other than just it's warming up, so I should probably take the sweater off.
Okay.
But like nothing else really.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Good, good.
wow. Just disappointment. Just
Mhm.
a 3 out of 10.
Go,
That's
good.
it.
Okay. So you can see the difference about that before, like 40 minutes ago or something, we checked this and it was heartbreak, it was 7 out of 10, it was tight around your chest and everything, and now it's just disappointment, 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is what we just did is Gold Standard EFT. Normally, when most people like Nick Ortner or Carol Luke, many people that promote EFT do the kind of basic, simple EFT where you have some negative feelings about you feel anxious about this or fearful when somebody says this or sadness when somebody does this. And you can just tap on the feelings, like even though I feel disappointed that he told me he didn't like me or something like that. And EFT works, it will help you, it will relieve these emotions. But what we did here, as I said, is Gold Standard EFT, as per Gary Craig, the founder of EFT, which is focused by you take the issue, but you don't tap directly on it, but you use it to go to the roots of the issue. Okay, so we find some early memory. You know, the best ones are from childhood. But if you don't have anything from childhood, you just take something some time ago, and you clear out the memory. And even though the what happened in the memories or in the situation is not the same, usually the feeling can be same or similar. And whenever you clear out one memory from negative feelings, it will affect all the others where you felt the same. Especially if you go for the ones in childhood, because they are like the childhood memories are the pillars that are holding all the negative stuff, all the emotional trauma that you've been through with your life.
Yeah, they're the most formative. That makes a lot
So
of
you
sense.
clear it like this, and whenever you clear it in the past, in the memory, you clear it even kind of in the present and in the future. So anytime in the future, if you get to a similar situation, somebody like rejects you or tells you something or doesn't validate your feelings, you will feel less of the negative emotion. So this is how we do it.
It's good stuff.
It won't be this is just one therapy session, you know, so it won't be completely clear, not everything roses from now, but there will be a bit more positive difference.
I mean, I realize this is, this is just, this is just one session and there's only so much you can clear in a single session. But like this is a memory that's been like eating at me for like 2 years at this point. And I'm like, I can just breathe now. Like,
Yeah, you feel like something fallen off from you, something that you've
yeah, I
been
feel
carrying.
lighter.
You feel
I
lighter.
feel lighter. Yeah.
That's very good. Okay.
Thank you. And it's like I can just do this myself, right? Like, does
Definitely.
the sequence matter, or is there
Uh,
a like, do you have to tap in a certain way?
it's I don't think the sequence matters too much, but it's just simpler to go to all the points in this order from down to the bottom like this, as we just did.
Okay.
So and the great thing about EFT is that not only is it extremely powerful therapy technique, because it's not like usual psychotherapies where you're kind of just talking about these issues and trying to find some ways to solve it. This really makes a quick, significant, and long-lasting change in your emotions. And when your emotions change, everything in your life will change for the better.
Yeah, I'm already at the point where like talk therapy is its utility is limited. It's just like I don't need to understand or try to get at like the roots of whatever it is that's bothering me, and just like by talking about it over and over and over again, because I'm basically trying to use my logic to make sense of this stuff when it's stored in my body and I
Yes, the
can't access
emotions,
it by
the
talking
trauma
about
is
it.
stored in the body. And
Yeah.
the great thing about EFT and similar technique is that we can go straight into the body, into the subconscious, and we can clear out the pain. And there it is, faster.
It's good stuff.
Okay, it's great. And the great thing is that once you learn it, you can do it for yourself. You just make a list of memories and you go one by one and you kind of go to different parts of the memories and you clear out the emotion, and then you move to the other one and you just watch your life improve in every way imaginable.
Have you had to do this yourself? Most therapists I've worked with have had to like, undergo their own therapy process in whatever modality they use.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I started about 2 years ago. I started my own EFT therapy with one of the well, I think only 20 gold certified EFT therapists in the world. He's really good here in Czech Republic, and I saw the amazing results. So after a year or so, I decided to start doing EFT therapy myself. So I had some experience from my own therapy, and I started to separate EFT trainings, one in the Institute of Energy Psychology here in Czech Republic, and one directly one-on-one with the therapist. So I did these two trainings, and I started doing EFT with people with amazing results. So I'm full-time EFT therapist now.
Cool.
And so for if somebody like has the time or money or has some EFT therapists available, it's of course always better to do it with therapists, because you usually don't want to go exactly where you need to go. So the therapist is more skilled at the EFT and he pulls you through it. But many people don't have access to a good EFT therapist, or they simply don't have the money. In that case, it's a bit less efficient, but anyone can do it. And there is even like part of how I learned it was in Gary Cakes. Gary Cake is the founder of EFT. He has the whole Gold Standard EFT manual for free in text form on the internet. So anyone can learn this.
Okay, that's awesome.
I will send you a link after this, so you can check it out. So it's great. And as I told you, like for doing this, for this recording, for doing this for the guys at the Reddit at EFT, we will have another session where I will just teach you how to do it properly on yourself.
Yay!
Okay, great. So this is it.